I got a letter from the government the other day. I opened and read it and burned that. Man, the way that I live don't concern that. Man, we gon' have to settle this another.
Someone who helped organize this very important vigil tonight, vigil for Cleman Swepston, who is a black man who was brutally gunned down and murdered by the DC police. Can I ask you your name, what organization you represent, and why you felt it's so important to organize this vigil tonight?
I'm Ebony Simile Outlaw. I'm a part of the Uhuru movement, NPDOM, African People's Socialist Party, Black is Back Coalition, headed by Chairman Omalia Shatella. This is important because DC is right in the heart of the nation. It is the brain, it is the nucleus. And if we don't have resistance against police brutality, against the police containment that is on every corner in the African community, if we don't organize here, it sends a message, you know, and we have to start building a mass resistance here. I mean, because we've seen just at this one event, so many different people had stories of brutality, of murders, right in front of their family members, in front of their mothers, and we want to link everyone together. We don't have to feel isolated and victimized. We can get empowerment from this and rise up from this. So that's why it's important to have this. I was glad the mother and father was able to come here and express how they feel, and we want to have their backs and the back of anyone that's been affected by this.
Thank you. Can you give us a background of what happened to this brother, how he was murdered?
Essentially, based upon the police reports and eyewitness reports, the brother was sitting on his mother's porch 3 o'clock in the morning. He was asked to move by the police. Apparently he didn't move fast enough. Once he got around the corner away from visible eyes, several shots were rung out. The police claimed the brother had a gun. The neighborhood and friends say that that's not the type of brother that he was. He didn't own a gun. He doesn't have a police record. And even if he did, that doesn't give you the right to shoot anyone. You know, this is the message that we're trying to say. It doesn't matter if he was the hardest criminal in the world. He still has a right to go to jail, to go through the legal system, the legal process, and be tried by a court of jury of his peers, not to be had trial around the corner in the middle of the night by one police officer and be executed. It's not right, it's not just, and there are cameras that are around. We haven't seen the camera reports. We don't know the name of the police officer. We have a lot of investigating to do around this. It's very hush-hush. We know all about Boston, but we have no idea what's going on right in our own backyards in D.C. Thank
you. And lastly, folks that are watching right now that might want to get involved, how do they get involved with you, your organization, and just say they want to get involved with this coalition to stop these brutal police attacks on the black community?
Right. Essentially, you can email at simaleetherbg@gmail.com. It's simaleetherbg@gmail.com, and I can send you information. We are about to have massive meetings and planning. We're going to have a people's tribunal, because we don't wait for the internal affairs to investigate the police and let them off again. We're going to have a people's tribunal. We're going to hold them accountable. NPDOM is already doing this in Brooklyn. Diop Olubala. We're putting the NYPD on trial for the murder of Kimani Gray and Chantel Davis, and we're going to do the same thing here for the brother here and all over the nation. And if you want to be a part of the tribunals, email and we can get you involved with this. Cop watches, legal Uhuru law schools. We're going to arm the people with knowledge, and we're going to take this on like it needs to be done. So, absolutely.
Thank you so much, sister.
When you gave those outrageous crack laws that just snatched up the African community, and we know that was a biological attack.
Are you an elder?
Am I an elder? I'm an elder, and I'm out here, and I work right out here, right out in Berry Farm with the children every single day.
That means that all the ones in Berry Farm should be doing the same exact.
How are they going to do that when you're running through with guns, terrorizing them?
Really?
You're not uplifting the community. You're helping tear the community down. Well, Metropolitan, the police departments out there.
I don't.
Well, you're one of the few. You're one of the few. And when you have on the uniform of the enemy, I can't tell the difference.
Any kid that I see down
I can't tell the difference.
I still talk to them.
I can't tell the difference. But you telling them that, and then them seeing the whole system on every goddamn corner. You're one person, brother. You're one person.
Okay.
You can't change
I'm one person, but I do what I got to do for me, though. For these kids.
You do what you got to do.
I do what I have to do.
If you were going to do what you got to do, then why don't you stand with us against what happened to Cleman Richard Swepston Jr.? You see what I'm saying? If you're going to do what you got to do, because that's a black man too. He's a part of the community too. He's gone. He's gone.
I did this in college. I know exactly what you.
I don't care what you did in college. I'm talking about what you're doing right now, brother. If you felt it back then, you should still feel it now.
Oh, I do.
Then you wouldn't have that uniform on. You wouldn't have that uniform. It's not just a job.
Judging
it's not
based
just
on,
I'm judging based on what that stands for.
You're
what
judging
that stands for. Yes.
You don't know what my plans are on the inside.
You have that on.
Okay.
You have that
but you know what's inside here, though, right?
You have that on. You get up every morning and put on the uniform of the people that are killing people every morning. Every day, brother.
Do you know what's inside here? Because you're doing a lot of talking, but you don't do no listen. Do you know what's inside here?
It's interesting. It's interesting.
You know what's inside here?
Don't interrupt
From me.
Yes
I see what's inside of here because you got the uniform on. Everything that you represent is on your body.
So which means
everything that you represent is on your body.
Right?
Everything that you represent is on your body.
You don't know what's inside here.
Everything that you represent is on your body. Unless you are the spook who sat by the door and you're doing some kind of secret agent type thing.
How do you know I'm not the spook?
If you are the spook that sat by the door, then why are you out here? Why are you out here talking to us then, brother?
You don't know what's
why are you out here? Why you not with your fist up talking about justice, Cleman? Jail the club cuts now. 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 I don't hear you saying that, brother. I don't hear you saying it. So you just told me whose side you're on. You just told me. Let me hear from a sister. There's a sister over here. Her family has been directly through a type of situation where the police assassinated someone that she loved. Let's hear some stories. Maybe it'll sink into your heart.
Just to talk.
Hello. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Nikki and I'm here to represent George Booker Wells III, who was murdered on Saturday, March the 31st, 2012, which was last year, by a police who claimed that he had a knife or a knife-like object that looked like a box cutter, might have been, who knows what it was, a glimmer in the sun.
You got to pull the trigger.
Okay, can y'all hear me? All right. So he was murdered. He was shot 6 times in his chest, and he was murdered in the middle of the street, 1 block away from his mother's house. A lot of men is being killed by where their mother lives at. This man was 29 years old and he just had a baby. His baby was 3 months when he got murdered. It's no reason that the African-American men should have a target on their back.
That's right.
These men is being killed and shot down in the street, and their blood is running in the sewers, and it gotta stop today.
That's right.
We tired of the killer police. We tired of men that's looking like my man, killing my man, and out here defending the system that's against him too. They using you.
That's right.
Point blank period.
That's right.
They cannot get to us except to go through us. And that's exactly what they doing with your boy right over there. Officer friendly.
Say it again.
These people ain't friendly and they not officers. They is trained, hired murderers. If you us all to please. I really want this to be like a national type movement. I really think that we can do it. I'm out here representing George Booker Wilds III. That's it. I'm not claiming nobody. I'm not claiming no organization. But point blank period, we got to work together to get anywhere. We will get nowhere if everybody got their own anti-police brutality organization. It's not going to work.
That's right. That's right.
So what I'm proposing, and this is what I'm thinking, that we can have some type of, I'm the sister here, we can have some type of conference call and make it on the whole East Coast. Call the people in New York, let them know. They on Facebook. We can get in touch with Kamani great people, the people in Pennsylvania.
Texas is in solidarity, I'll tell you that right now.
Texas on another time frame.
Come on.
But we want Texas too, we want everybody. We gotta unite over the whole United States, and I also want to propose that we all get some type of letters together. Each individual one of us write letters on behalf of anybody on that list that's been killed. Try to write 20 letters. We want to flood the federal Department of Justice. On one day. That's one movement. We gotta do something. We can't just keep having vigils and don't have nothing done.
And what the sister said is essentially right. Like, we keep having these micro groups and micro movements when we know the same thing is happening all over. You know, in Germany, they burnt the man to death in prison, you know, and basically tried to say he set himself on fire. You know, in the UK, they shoot people and beat people. I mean, like, this is a global thing. This is a global thing. This is colonialism. This is imperialism. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. And we recognize it when it's in other places, but we somehow don't recognize it when it's right here. This is colonialism. Okay? This is straight up brutality, and it crushes the spirit, the hearts, and the minds. Yes, the kids are walking around smoking wet and K2 and every other fucking thing they can get their hands on. A lot of them are mentally disturbed. We are in a goddamn battle zone. And then you have the nerve to sit and point at them and blame them for, like, as if they created the situation. But we have the biggest fucking pharmaceutical industry in the world, and everybody's popping a pill, but when the youth do it in Southeast, they're monsters. Stop criminalizing black people, man. Right now we have tribunals that are about to take place, a people's tribunal for the murder of Kamani Gray and other acts that the NYPD has done, and our organization, International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement, is going to do this all across the board, but we do want to link up with other people. We don't want it to just be an NP-dump thing. This is a people's tribunal. We want everybody to testify who's been a victim. We want everybody to come together and stand. We're going to need lawyers. We're going to need judges. We really are going to put the Metropolitan Police Department on trial, and maybe some other there's so many damn police departments here. Like it's like it's a kid at the candy store. I mean, like, we literally can pick all of them. But we are going to get together. We have someone going through with a sign-up book. If you want to be a part of this movement, we're going to try to have cop watches, cop blocks. We're going to have wanted posters that we're going to post up all over town so that everybody knows what these crooked, killer, nasty, racist cops, and that's the black ones and the white ones, because even the black ones are protecting white power. They're just black power. I mean, excuse me, white power with a black face. Okay? It's no different. And when I say white power, I'm not talking about white power. I'm talking about white power. That type of white power. Okay? And we know the difference.
My name is Carolyn. And September the 9th, my son was murdered by the DC police. They followed my son from my house into a dead end, and where they murdered him at. And when I came outside, I couldn't even go across the road. They kept on threatening me, talking about they're gonna lock me up. And so I would like to have justice, because there's too many innocent people out here getting killed by the police.
That's right.
Too many.
That's right.
And so we all need to get together and work on this right here.
That's right.
We need to stop it. Stop it now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a mother. I done helped so many people bury their sons. I have an 18-year-old son that every day when he walk outside, I got to worry about him getting shot, not just by his peers, but by the police. It's a lot of people, a lot of these people ain't out here talking about how the police are running up in people's houses and they're searching our houses because we have teenage sons. They come up in your house, they kick your doors down, they got the SWAT team going on. They terrorize you, especially if you're an activist in this area. They terrorize you, tear up your house, but when you call and you try to get the police report, don't nobody know what happened. When you call to try to get the money back because all your stuff been torn up, nothing happens. But this is what happens when you stand up. But when you stand alone, you don't have any power. But if we stand up together, we have a whole lot of power. No justice, no peace.
No peace. No justice, no peace. All you gotta do, this brother knows the brother that was killed.
Hello, yes, my name is Ernest Ricks, and Doobie was my best friend. And also the police killed my baby brother, Albert Jermaine Payton, on 4th Street. Shot him down 38 times and said he had a knife in his hand. August the 34th, 2012. Said he had a knife in his hand. They shot him 38 times and said he had a knife in his hand. And then they saying they haven't recovered a knife or nothing. And everybody did nothing about it. My brother's name is Albert Jermaine Payton. Doobie was my best friend. He had no gun. Doobie was no person with no gun. I know Doobie personally. My little brother, they shot him down in front of me and my mother. Pushed my mother to the side. They could have shot my mother and me also. Said my brother had a knife in his hand. On August the 31st, 2012, 2454 4th Street, Southeast is the address. His name was Albert Jermaine Payton. 7th District Police Officer.
Sounds like an act of terrorism.
7th District Police Officer. Shot him down. My mother was standing right beside him. I was right there. They could have shot me or my mother also. He said he had a knife in his hand. They shot him 38 times. Like an animal. Shot him down like an animal. Pushed my mother to the side, pushed me to the side, then took my brother all the way to Prince George's Hospital and pronounced dead.
So what happened? Did you sue?
They said he had a knife in his hand.
Did the family sue? Did you?
I don't know what my mother doing right now.
Maybe we can do a follow-up on that.
But they right now, they never gave us a police report. They covered it up. They didn't put it in the news or nothing. They didn't even do a cover story on it. They didn't even put it in the news. They didn't, Fox 5 didn't come out, nothing. They covered it up. And I'm here to tell it. Yes.
Tell our own story. We have to stop depending on the mainstream media to get the reports out. Okay? We have to tell our own story. This brother right here has a story to tell about police brutality that he was a victim of.
On June 18, 2009, the police jumped out on me. I didn't know they was the undercovers. I didn't see no badge. They didn't say who they was. They beat me, 4 police officers beat me. I was in the hospital for 3 days.
Bring it close here. Really close.
Hello? Yes. Okay. On June 19th, 2009, I was viciously beat by 4 police officers that said they saw me serving crack, and they jumped out on me and just beat me in front of a whole neighborhood. My mother's, all 4 of my brothers. I mean, it's on the police, but it's also on the community. Like they say, we all got to stick together, because my brothers, my mother, the whole neighborhood said, we ain't hot, we ain't coming to court, we ain't got nothing to do with it, you know what I'm saying? And then while I was in jail during my time, somebody got stabbed to death, and they just covered it up. They took all the newspapers from us. They turned the TV off for 3 days, and then it wasn't in the newspaper. It was in the newspaper for 2 sentences. They said the man died in D.C. jail, but they said he died in D.C. General Hospital. But I saw him die on the escalator, getting chased upstairs by somebody with a knife. No one opened the doors for him. No one called no help, and they let that man die, and then said he was dead in D.C. General, but he died in D.C. jail. If no one comes together and say nothing about this, the stuff gonna continue to happen. As a community, we gotta come together. Everybody keeps saying they not hot and they ain't this shit telling. If you don't tell, ain't nobody gonna know.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and just keeping this thing alive. Like we said, this was an innocent man. This ain't had to happen to him. Like I said, this could have happened to any one of us. As we can see, it ain't about color. You know what I mean? Because it can happen up Georgetown. It can happen, as you can see, the gentrification going on all around the city. It's really about the have and the have-nots. You know what I'm saying? This man was going home 2 o'clock in the morning, and basically, I don't know what's on that police's mind at that time of night, but they did what they did for no reason. You know, that could have been any one of us. Getting off from work or whatever. You know, so, man, we just let's keep this thing alive before it won't happen to the next person. If it happen again, we're going to be out here again, wherever it's at in the city. You know, so, I just thank everybody, man, for this, man, because, this shouldn't have happened, man. This shouldn't have happened.
Justice, no peace! Justice, no peace! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? No! What do we want? Justice! How we gonna get it? No! By any means necessary! By any means necessary! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? No! How we gonna get it? By any means necessary! This brother's innocent shooting was unnecessary! We must organize! This cannot be quiet. This cannot slow down all over our nation. We got a war against our rest. The devil is out for black people. All people. We must save all our people. We must continue to organize. This cannot stop. The energy has to continue to move on. The energy has to pump up. We have to let authorities know that the community must be in control. It takes the community to make things happen. People are not going to change until the community makes it happen. So the police ain't going to keep doing what they doing if the community let them. We got a police officer right here, right? And several stories out on this brother's death. We need to bring attention to the murder. They got a story out that the weapon was planted on this brother. It was planted. And this brother was known not to carry a gun. This brother will rumble, fight, lose a fight, and keep rumbling. We need to organize. This brother's innocent death should not go unheard.
I wanted to express my deepest condolences to the family of Cleman. And I think it's really glaring that this is not just unique to Washington, D.C. or Southeast, but to a lot of black communities around the country. And you have to understand that it's a part of an overall plan to keep the black community controlled. The presence of the police here is a colonial occupation. Yes, we are in the colony. They're there to control us, to make sure that we don't step out of line, because they know that we have always been the segment of the population that comes out and represents for our people. And so right now, we have to understand that in order for this to end, we have to organize. We have to become organized and focused and really just address this problem. Okay, because this is a colonial occupation. I don't know if anybody else...
Man answers. We want that report. We want that police report. We want the records. We want accountability. And tell you what, we know they're not going to do it just because we demand it. But when we start investigating ourselves, when we start holding and organizing our own grand juries in our community, we'll send them a people's subpoena. Bring your ass over here and explain what's going on. And if they don't, then we got their numbers. Then we put them on trial. We render a judgment and tell them, I ain't got nothing to do with what happens now. You didn't do nothing. That's in the hands of the people. That's what it comes to. And if we're not willing to do that, then we can forget all this shit and just go on home. Because ain't nothing going to happen. It's going to be 10 investigations for the next 10 years. When it's out of your mind, they're going to let the cop right back. There you go. Watch out. They're going to shoot you. You see what I'm saying? There you go.
Don't do that.
So y'all understand that.
man.
Where? I went there.
They killed that boy up there in the hill for nothing.
This is a community guy.
Come through, baby.
The village is running it. The people's running it.
The community running it. DC government running it.
Until everybody feels like leaving, until we feel like, you know, we organize enough so that we can organize against the killer cops.
That's all I need to know. All right.
What do you need to know? What you need to know? What crime going on over here?
Fire the killer police! No justice!
I got a letter from the government the other day. I opened and read it and burned that. Man, the way that I live don't concern that. Man, we gon' have to settle this another way. A letter from the government the other day. I opened and read it and burned that. Man, the way that I live don't concern that. Man, we gon' have to settle this.